know my name. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time, lot of slime. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of prime. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time.
Welcome to episode 403 of Fourth and Jawn. I'm Gail Saunders here with Mr. Primo, aka Prime in the building, Mr. Tim Kincaid in the building. And today I think it's officially the off season because the Super Bowl happened. Uncle Andy got his Super Bowl. Debo Samuel was crying like a little bitch. And then we got some Haason Reddick talk tonight. You know, there's been a little. You know, there's always drama. Even on a Super Bowl day, we get drama about Haason Reddick. Everyone's stirred up. So we're going to talk about the Super Bowl recap. Obviously, at the end of the day, you see two good football teams playing against each other. At the end of the day, I mean, this was a boring first half. Then it took Usher to get people out of their seats. Hopefully, Prime didn't make another child since he said last podcast that Usher was a big part of his fatherhood. But overall, the back end of the Super Bowl was pretty phenomenal. I think everyone was geeked out to see it go into overtime. But my prediction, you know, I had the Chiefs winning. I think it was like 31-27. What was the final score?
25-22.
25-22. It was a good game, and I was entertained. I think the Super Bowl commercials were pretty entertaining, but overall, I think NFL fans got what they deserved. I think the truthers out there would say that there's a lot of scripts going on. But wait, what say you, Primo?
Oh, look, man. I feel fresh. New start. It's all over. It's all behind us. We wanted the team that we wanted to win won. You know what I mean? I got it on the headlines. I want to make it very clear. You know what I mean? The 49ers, they lost. They're done. You know what I mean? So it felt great. It was a good Super Bowl, no doubt about it. If you want points because you took it into overtime, you know what I mean, one extra quarter than what we did last year, okay, you can have it. But you know what? You still lost. You still lost. All right? You know, Debo's probably still crying. And Kittle's, shit, anybody find him? Because I haven't seen him. So, yeah, I mean, I feel great, bro. I feel great. No sympathy. I'm sorry. I love you if you're tuning in. I love you to death, but no sympathy whatsoever coming from me. All right. Not looking for any. All right. We didn't, you know what I mean? We took the L like we did last year with our chins up, you know what I mean? Came back and, you know, we try to do it all over again. So you're going to have the same mentality. It is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, the the San Francisco 49ers, you know what I'm saying? They got to do their thing, you know what I mean? Get it together. So, yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. You know what I mean? The Eagles gear is back. You know what I mean? I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Now, I'll set it up, Tim. I mean, people out there who don't know, Tim's lovely wife is a 49ers fan. Not just no average 49er fan. She is a diehard 49ers fan. So you live in a potential hostile environment.
Right. Yeah. It's now that my brother Primo just got on, came off with his shirt off and said, "Shots fired, 49ers." Nah, man, it was a great Super Bowl. Hats off to both teams, you know, but the most physical team and the team that actually planned for overtime won. So yeah, it was the good, the bad, the ugly in the Kincaid household. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my wife. Sorry for the loss, baby girl. Love you.
Sorry for the loss. I mean, the biggest thing that stood out to me in the Super Bowl is just the level of consistency that Patrick Mahomes plays with. When the lights are brightest, he shines. And he has, especially in these, I think when it comes down to situational football, you see the way that he moves. down a distance. He knows where to go with the football. He just never looked stressed. I think that's like, I was hoping that Andy Reid might retire, but I think he's not retiring. He'll be back for many years, I think, as long as they said Mahomes is under contract for another 8 years. So what were your biggest takeaways from the Super Bowl?
It was crazy how like the play calling was just different from that. They've been pretty much I got to give them props. They were doing their thing during the year, and then it was just like something totally different come Super Bowl. I mean, then the fact that you didn't plan on an overtime, and you didn't know what to go into the overtime, with the aspect of, how to run that offense or shit. I was even surprised at the fact that they didn't even decide to go ahead and kick the ball off. Your defense was just on the field like 2 minutes ago. So give them time, give them a break. Again, if they were understanding what the new overtime rules was, but obviously they didn't. So they decided to go with the offense. It kicked them in the ass. And, by the way, did I mention that they lost? Oh, yeah, they lost. That's right.
I will say this, man. Steve Wilkes, he did his job on the defensive side of the ball. They had 3 sacks, I want to say. And, and then on the other side, Spagnuolo, like, bro, he did it well. And the MVP on the defense side for the Kansas City Chiefs was Trent McDuffie. Did you see when he was shedding those blocks with Trent Williams? Trent Williams looked like the game was so big. It was too big for him. He didn't even know. Like, it was just like he didn't know what was going on. It was like an out-of-body experience. And I definitely want to say this, though. And I know every my DMs was going crazy, and everybody was doing the big dumb when Greenlaw got too hyped. Did you see Greenlaw every time it was a tackle, assist tackle? He like touched the one guy and then he'll fall over. He was just pumped. I think he was smelling the nasty salt. I think he was doing a little bit too much. He was too hyped. Unfortunately, he got hurt. Now, definitely injuries is part of the game. I don't want to see nobody get hurt, but yo, you gotta learn how to chill, man. Act like you've been here before, B.
Yeah,
but bro, I mean, the one thing I just gotta remind people is that it's part of the game. But he didn't get hurt during the game. He got hurt getting excited, just trying to run on the field. It was just like, wow,
crazy.
Like, yo, I ever since the Aaron Rodgers injury and them explaining the whole concept of how that thing pops and everything. So when they rewinded, when they came back from commercial, they were like, this just happened. And then they showed Greenlaw like amped up, hype, jumping up and down, getting ready to hop on the field. And you saw the pop. And I was like, oh shit, how do you tear? Yeah. How do you
Achilles,
tear
right?
like
Achilles.
that? Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Did you see Fred Warner? Did you see Fred Warner? Fred Warner knew. He like turned around. He was like, "Oh my god!" Like it was like he knew he was. It was.
No, I told Tim earlier. I mean, after the game, I was saying that during the game, I was looking at him celebrate and get hyped. I was like, he's doing too much. I was like, he's gonna injure himself getting just being too hype. And the fact that he got injured that way, sad to see it. Especially when thinking about next season. Achilles injury is not all players are the same after that. Todd mentions Javon Hargrave balled out.
Balled out.
He did.
First player to go, back-to-back L's in the Super Bowl.
A lot of pressures. He was getting you're a wild bull.
That is true. That is. I didn't think about that.
I mean, and you know what I didn't like though? I didn't like when they went down the list of basically saying all the Niners injuries, bro. This is part of the game. And nobody's 100% when they get to the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship. Like nobody. So you're going to have injuries. You know what I'm saying? But my thing was, where the hell was Debo? Where the hell was Kittle? Where the hell were they at?
Debo looked like what's his name from Friday, laying on the ground. My neck and my back, like his hammy was acting up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, bro, like you're supposed to be that dude. And I know it's got to be disheartening for 49er fans to see your dude just laying on the ground, like in the biggest moment. Again, like everybody knows he's had back to his South Carolina days. He's always had hammy issues.
Right.
So it's nothing new. But I think what was surprising to me to watch McCaffrey fumble in the opening
Very surprising.
series. Yeah.
That was
Very
shocking.
surprising.
I've only
It
seen
was a
him
good
fumble
defensive
twice.
play. I mean, like, you know what I mean? You're taught how to go ahead and punch that ball out of the guy's arm. But it being McCaffrey, yes, I was just as surprised that, you know what I mean, they were able to get that off, but it was a good turnover at the right time, because I mean they were going down the field pretty good on that drive. Yeah, so I was just as shocked. I was just as shocked to see that.
I think what else I'm also shocked about is the amount of 49er fans who are now, wondering why Eagle fans they thought we would be quiet. I try to put out as many quick memes as I could put out in a possibly 15-minute time span. I had some ready to go just to throw it out there. The fact that you thought we were going to be quiet, and again, it's like when we lost, I get it. We're gonna get it regardless. But I'm not gonna the next day and like target every fan base that came at us, because they don't like us. We don't care. We get it. We get how it goes. But the woe is me. I'm a 49ers fan. Everyone's teaming up. It's par for the course, no?
I mean, absolutely, bro. Like, hey, listen, you got to take the good with the bad. So you had all that hype, you had all that energy going into the year. I mean, the fact that you're still talking about us on Media Row the week before Super Bowl, you can't keep our names out your mouth. That says a lot, man. Like, I guess that actually was maybe your Super Bowl. I don't know, because I mean, you can't get an actual Super Bowl victory. So if you want to take that win against us as the victory for you, I mean, it is what it is. Dallas did, San Fran did. So hey, look, I guess y'all won y'all non-Super Bowl games, but that's it. Because I mean, y'all can't get to one can't get to the big game, and the other one can't win the big game. So hey,
yeah.
Rack says Trent McDuffie and Chris Jones were his defensive MVPs. I'm gonna ask you guys a question and the chat as well. I'm thinking sometimes you watch a game, right, and then you start thinking about what's missing from your favorite team, whatever team that you root for. As you listen, this is probably Eagles, but wondering, watching the game, where does what do you think is missing from the Eagles watching these two Super Bowl teams?
Pre-snap motion. Come on, pre-snap motion. Defense wise, the way that they were blitzing Purdy, he's a shorter quarterback, so they shrunk the pocket, and when they shrunk the pocket, his accuracy went way down. Because there were some throws where, if he would have had like a second or two, it's touchdowns. So, man, I wish we had that.
You talk about the pre-snap motion. Andy Reid, he called the play corn dog. The same play that he used against the Eagles last year, and the play that some people were like, oh, he got that from Doug Peterson. Where do you think Doug Peterson got it from? Andy Reid, probably. So I think his ability to just be a wily veteran and come up with a nice play to win the game. Mecole Hardman has had a shit season, if you think about it. So for him to come back and have a nice catch to win the Super Bowl, I think that's good for him. But I think overall, I do think the lack of pre-snap motion, we've been talking about it for months, though.
Well, you've been talking about it all season, bro. And I gotta, it's a good point you brought up, Tim, because just seeing it, you're right, man. Just seeing it and wishing that, we utilize it a little bit more. It definitely would benefit us, but that's just the thing. We missed out on that so much. We didn't see it at all. I think we probably saw it one game, and me and Gail, I remember we got excited. I can't even remember if we were at the game or I think we were texting each other. We were like, yo, did you see the motion? Like, it's an exciting thing to see. And you see when you utilize it the right way, it pays off. So, hey, man, that play, the way they explained it and they showed it like in slow-mo, how it transpired and everything. Yeah, that was a good one, because, I mean, you really got the defender off his game to go worry about the next man up. And here you did a quick turnaround to go right to the corner of that end zone and look, the dump off. I mean, to be honest with you, when that play happened, I'm watching it here with the wife, and it kind of like it was similar to the reaction when we won the Super Bowl. Like, did that really just happen? Like, is this over? Like, that's how I kind of reacted. Like, it was like a hesitation on both our ends. We looked at each other like, yeah, that was quick, because even though I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of still trying to understand the whole new rules to the overtime. But when I saw that clock running, I was like, yo, how is this going to happen? If these guys don't get this playoff, is this over? But then I remembered they get an opportunity too. I guess whoever scores the most within that quarter or something like that ends up winning the game. So yeah, it was just like it was just still crazy to go ahead and take it all in.
A lot of players actually didn't know the rules. Some of them did not know the rules, because you think like this game ain't going to overtime.
But like that's bad coaching. That is bad coaching. You need to inform your players, hey, the rules have changed. Now we're in the playoffs or Super Bowl, however how it happened.
Players don't listen.
And that's bad coaching, man. Come on though. Uncle Andy had his team lined up and ready to go. They already knew the rules. So like that's bad coaching.
It happens to the best of them. Even Chris Webber, ask him for an extra timeout. it happens. It happens. Now Sergeant Walker asks, is the CMC fumble the same as the Jalen fumble?
Nah.
I think we had the momentum. We had a dagger moment. So if we didn't fumble, I think we would have put the dagger in the Chiefs, because it would have been up 3 scores or
we would have up 3, because when we fumbled it was 7-17. Shout out to Marcus. What's up, little bro?
Now I know shout out to Mr. Cross. He said there was Fletcher Cox tweets out there. EAD stands for something. He clowned Deebo Samuels on Instagram, saying that I held this one in the chamber, like talk to me when you get one. I think for me, I was like, you know what, Fletcher Cox, you'll always remain a real one. If this is how you go out, this is a perfect moment. What you guys think of that Fletcher Cox posts?
Not mad, bro. As soon as the game ended, that was just like my go-to. Like, let me go look for something, because somebody's got something in the chamber, and bam, don't you know, it came right out. You know what I mean? Fletcher didn't hold back, and I don't blame him. I'm glad he's the one that spoke up. I'm glad he had that bitch in the chamber and he brought it out, because it's the truth. I mean, unless you got that ring in your hand that you actually won, not the organization that you actually were a part of, you got no room to talk. So, you know what I mean? Again, if you had stayed focused on knowing the rules, knowing the game, not whining, playing the way you needed to play, you probably would have been Super Bowl champions right now. But nah, you had other things on your mind.
I thoroughly enjoyed all the Nick Bosa tweets and the memes that were out there.
People like 1 or 2 people that I feel for on that team. Real talk. Other than that, I mean, I don't want to. We'll get more into it later on, but I could get my details about some of these players that I just want to go ham on right now. But
for sure.
Yeah.
Facts. I'm gonna tell you one thing. It got so toxic that the 49er players were going after each other. I don't know if you've seen that.
I didn't.
Yeah, they're going after each other. He said, I'm not gonna say the names. I'll send you the tweet. But they're going after each other. They were saying, hey, why'd you chop block? Didn't need to chop block there. And he goes, oh man. He said, oh man, I just woke up from my hangover. I'm angry from the Super Bowl. I didn't mean to do you like that. He says, I'm sorry, bro. You're throwing each other under the bus now? Like this? And then the war between the girlfriends, Chief girlfriends, and Niner girlfriends is wild. Then you got Ayuk sitting subliminals at Shanahan like, yo, you should have been worried how you got there. And then posted every jersey and every ball to his statistics at like every game.
Wow.
Woo,
Spicy.
I was like, man, yes, it's getting spicy.
Spicy. And that's a good thing. But in a cool tone with some jokes here. Usher had better hamstrings than Deebo. Hashtag caught up. Yo, I'm if we're talking about I know me and Primo were talking about where Usher's performance stood in the hierarchy of Super Bowl performances. I thought he was in there. He was in there, dog. I think not as good as Dr. Dre, because I thought Dr. Dre really just brought it out of me. But I think I thought he did his thing.
Okay, good. Well, I have a question then.
Please.
Can we go top 5? Because I can go top 5 right now.
Are you putting him in your top 5?
I'm going to put him in my top 5. He's definitely top 5.
I respect
one Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Prince.
Okay.
Prince was dope.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go.
Beyonce had a good one.
Beyonce did have a good one, but like I don't remember Beyonce.
Yeah, I forget. I actually forgot.
You know what I mean? Like I don't remember,
but there's some that I do. So, all right, you done your top 5?
I did 3, but now go ahead. Go finish them.
No, I agree. I agree with your first 2. Okay. I even throw this. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. This is gonna be funny because this was a very touchy subject on Sunday. All right, but Usher, you know what I mean, because these ladies don't know how to act when somebody takes their shirt off. Oh my god.
Oh.
But okay. I'm gonna go with your 2. I'm gonna throw you 2 in there because you 2 Jawn was nice, bro. You 2. See, you might not remember it. You 2. Okay. Then the Beyonce. And then my number 5 was Shakira and Taylor. Just saying.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, all right.
You just told on yourself.
I'm going to mix that up then. So
I told myself on Sunday, because I'm going to tell you right now. Hold up, Tim, before you go.
No, go ahead.
This was a hell of a show. But for you to go and say that was the best show ever, hell no.
No.
And what was that for? Oh, I got my ass chewed out. All right. And then, why? Because you know what I mean? And then, you know what I mean? Oh, he looked good. Did you see that shirt? Did you see his body? Man, get the fuck out of here. Get the hell out of here, man. Stop playing.
Hey, this is a reminder. If you are in Vegas, do not take your girl to go see Usher. Okay?
Man, I know that much. I know
that.
I mean,
right. But Justin Timberlake. I mean, the Jen and Nipple joint. I mean, that's top 5 up there. You know what I'm saying? That's top 5.
God forbid if I would have talked about a boob, I'd probably be sleeping outside.
Yeah.
I was covering my wife's eyes.
Hey, shout out to Amanda. Shout out to Amanda. She was like, "Oh, why is he taking his shirt off?" Like she thought he was like trying to flex too much. I was like, she a real one. You know, she
only has eyes for Gail. She only has eyes for Gail. That's a good one.
Because Usher got teabagged. I just want to make sure y'all know that he got teabagged. All right, when he tried to slap I mean, he had scrapes of nut sacks all the way through. Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the girl who fell off the pole.
I missed that. You watched it? What did you guys watch it twice?
Bro,
I got it on video. I'll send it to you right
now. Then the one guy went flying one way, and the crowd caught him. But nobody noticed this guy that went the other way. Nobody caught him. So it was just like, whoa.
Man. Going to the comments, we talked about some of the things that watching the Super Bowl, what people in comments were thinking that was missing from the Eagles. Shout out to Conrad. He said side-to-side linebackers. Very true. Mr. Walker says linebackers, 54 is everywhere. And my thing with Mr. 54, that was my guy coming out of BYU. And that's the guy I wanted. And every time I see Warner, I'm like, it hurts my soul. It hurts my soul.
He really didn't have a great game in terms of coverage, though.
He got by Travis on one play. I remember that.
Yeah. It was that. I mean, and I don't know, man. Like respect for his game, respect for his game. But I don't know. I just see some griminess, some dirtiness in him. You know what I mean? Like,
I like it. I need more of it. I like it.
You like it?
Hey, okay.
I like a little grime squad for my defensive players, like an extra hit. Because I saw him, he hit somebody after the play. But again, I like it. Need more of that. Kevin says a smart and wise defensive scheme. That's the thing with what's his name from the Chiefs? His blitzes. I've been calling for nickel blitzes all season. The way that he deploys some of these blitzes is it's just harmony. He knows
Spags. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he knows when to bring the pressure all the time. So like even Tony Romo is like, here comes the blitz. I know it's coming. Spags is creative with it. And some people are talking about Romo talking too much, but I don't care. I'd rather have him than Chris Collinsworth.
Absolutely, bro. I mean, I think those two ended up calling a great game. You know what I mean? Yo, not for nothing. Tony Romo, he's just like straight details, and I like it. You know what I mean? Like he keeps you into it. And so I'm glad that they ended up grabbing those guys. Did you guys catch the Nickelodeon? I thought that was pretty cool.
A little bit, yeah.
Nah, I didn't catch that.
Shout out to Nickelodeon. Shout out to the company.
Shout out to Nickelodeon.
You know, definitely. I didn't last too long. I made sure to tune in so I can get for the company. But other than that, I was like,
oh yeah, you better show love to the company.
I'm a football guy. I need to see the regular Jawn.
Started getting on my nerves. So.
Was it too much slime?
Too much slime.
Racksack says Eagles need motion, a proper 4-5-man rush. Linebackers can actually play. Wow. Secondary playing press man and jamming receivers. McDuffie was in his bag, man. I thought his ability to run routes, the ability to get in Debo's face. I'm like, bro, this is not your field. This is my field. I love to see that from him. And I like whether it's Snead, McDuffie, those cornerbacks were there to wreck shop.
Yeah, you know? I mean, they had it in their blood, man, that they were so amped up about this game. And yo, it's the last game of the season. It's for the championship. You're gonna put it all out. So I'm glad I got to see that. I'm glad, and that's what I wish, you know what I mean, like our players at times have, because those guys, they just laid it all out on the field that day.
Now HB says we need some dogs on defense. We don't have any dogs. I think there are some dogs, but I just think a consistent. I mean, we're going to get to. I mean, I don't know. A couple people have asked about the Haason Reddick situation. We're about to talk about that in full detail. But in general, I think you want to see some dogs. Jalen Carter, as a young dog in the making, didn't quite get the Rookie of the Year runner-up. But I thought overall, we do need some more dogs. I'm even go Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in that ilk of like what he brought to the defense last year. I need more of that.
I like Sidney Brown as a dog. Too bad he got hurt, but Sidney Brown is one of them.
He's got the potential to be that dog, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think, you know what I mean, going into his second year, we might see that, you know, because he's definitely one that's all over the field when he's playing. So I mean, it's the next man up mentality, and if he's going to get the opportunity to go ahead and show it, I think, you know what I mean, he's the right person to do it, unless, you know what I mean, one of these veterans finally, you know what I mean, decide to step up this upcoming year. We'll see what happens.
Now 843 says pre-snap motion, play action. We need to find a fullback like Leonard Weaver using our new offense. We pulled a Leonard Weaver car like that. Let's see. Let's see. Kevin's asking for Shanahan underused CMC.
I don't know, man. I think that all they did was use CMC. You know what I mean? Like, yo, he was getting his ass handed to him, and like
some shots.
He took some serious shots. So it was just like, bro, I don't know, man. Not for nothing. You already, they shut down Debo, they shut down Kittle. Had CMC not played the way he played, that game probably would have been worse. Like, it was wild. And you know what I mean? CMC and Jennings are the two that kept them in that game.
Right, yeah. And Jennings is a third option, you know what I'm saying? And then Ayuk was gone missing too.
But again, another two names right there that you just mentioned that stepped up, because this is a big game.
Yeah. And what's crazy, another thing that's crazy, bro, like, remember our Super Bowl in 2017? Like, the person that we didn't even expect stepped up. And that was Nelson Aguilar. He stepped up. He had, 82 to 87 yards.
Shit.
Commit. Yeah, like, guys stepped up. That's what you leave it out there on the field. This is the last game. This is for everything. This is the championship, Super Bowl championship. So, like, I don't know. I just feel like I think CMC, He came out there. He did what he had to do. The fumble, I think the fumble hindered him a little bit. He seemed like he was like discombobulated for a minute, and then he got back on what he needed to do. But the rest of them, man, except Jennings and Juszczyk, the fullback, he even did work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
that was probably the loosest I've ever seen that dude play on Sunday. Like he was giving it all as well, man. Like I saw him amped up. Mad props to him. But going back to Jennings, I mean, like you take away that touchdown pass, there really wasn't like much to it. I mean, it was like no offense was going for them, and that's the part that was just throwing me off. If y'all noticed that damn touchdown pass, bro, I was probably counting up to 4 Mississippi before that ball decided to land in CMC's hands. I was just like, holy shit, that shit was up in the air for a minute. I thought somebody was going to go ahead and intercept it, but then it didn't go that way.
Sergeant Walker says his Super Bowl performances, halftime performances: Michael #1, Beyonce 2, Usher 3, 4, Usher 5, and then Bruno Mars.
I don't remember Bruno.
Bruno had a good. My brother.
All right,
he got great songs. I just don't remember.
My big bro is chiming in. He says #1 for Prince. Kevin, I'm surprised Primo didn't say The Weeknd.
I wanted to, but I ain't like, I mean, listen, man, I already got my ass chewed out enough this.
Nah, bro. When he was looking for himself in the mirror and looking all crazy, he lost me with that. Him and Lady Gaga lost me.
That's The Weeknd for you, bro.
Mark says Janet's nipple top 5. I think Eagle fans, everybody in the comments is still looking for Debo. I got tired of tagging him and stuff.
I don't even think they found Kittles either. You know what I mean? Like, the guys have been lost.
Yeah.
They're in the back of a milk carton right now.
Now, shout out to Evan Hollywood Hearn, who's working, doing the Lord's work. Shout out to Hollis, probably recovering from the Super Bowl. It should be an awesome experience if you ever go. I've never been. It's probably one of those things I got to cross off the bucket list. But I'm
find a reason to, bro.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We are gonna find a reason. We are gonna find a reason.
Gotta go to one.
Yeah.
Now, talking about this, let's get into this. I'm missing a lot of these comments, but I'll try to get back to them. But Haason Reddick. Now, every time you look at the first thing I do as an Eagle fan, or my old analyst days, trying to analyze the Eagles, I always look at the cap, man. Look at the cap. Always look for the biggest cap number, because you know Howie Roseman is going to find a way to bring that cap number down somehow, kick the can down the road in some form or fashion. But that is what it is with Haason's contract. Now, Haason recently came out today and let it be known that this is what he said. I never asked for a trade. However, I do understand it's a business, preparing for whatever is next. Reddick told Bleacher Report, I would like to get an extension done here at home. Reddick said, at no point did I ever tell the organization I want to be traded. So, for the people out there, we're like, he's forcing a trade. If you guys listen closely to last season, you know that Haason had mentioned about getting some money. Jeff McClain will always find some kind of nugget to get people out of their comfort zone. He asked Haason Reddick if he's underpaid. He said, I ain't gonna sit here. You all see it. Y'all know what's going on. I'm just worried about being the best version of myself and letting everything else sort itself out. And that's what he did. He sat there and let it sort out. So again, like everybody, he's not forcing a trade to get out of here. This is the business. And, now it's, other guys have in the past have got permission to seek trades. Fletcher Cox, Darius Slay, you can name. I mean, were you shocked to hear this news right away? I think on Super Bowl day, were you shocked?
Go ahead, Tim.
Hearing that Super Bowl morning, yes, I was shocked. But this is leverage, and it's on his part. And there's no bad blood, right? Because it's a business at the end of the day. You're going to get the most out of the opportunity that you have on this earth, right? We all are going to like that. At 29 years old, let's be honest, he's still top 10 when it comes to playing in the right position, not playing in a secondary and covering. That's just not his forte. He is a defensive end. I know he's listed as a linebacker, but he is somebody that gets after the quarterback, pins his ears, and goes and get him. Like, he wants to be paid like that. And he's in the name of the greats of those guys that's been named. TJ Watt, what's the other bull from Myers Garrett, and all those guys. He's up there. Bosa, he's up there. So I just hope that they can figure out and meet in the middle and resolve this solution. But there is other needs on this team, and I don't know if it's going to be possible. I'm not sure.
It's possible. Anything's possible.
How anything is possible. So, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that when I saw the news, it was just like, damn, it was a serious damn coming from me. Like, it's part of the business. I get it. But it didn't hit me like it would normally hit me. And the reason why is because kind of had to expect it. The guy's been playing. He's been balling out, getting his stats, doing his thing for us when we needed him to. He's been a great team player. He's had a great attitude because, I mean, he could have been playing, with an attitude, like a bad attitude this past year, and he didn't. He came in, he showed it like, he wants to be here. He wants to play for this organization. He wants to get paid, and he deserves it. He deserves every dollar that man is getting offered. But the fact is, like you said, bro, we have other priorities that we have to take care of. And again, it's going back to it's a business. So it's like I told Gail, we got to talk about Devontae Smith. We got to go ahead and get him taken care of. You know what I mean? Like, we need that key player on the offense. So a defensive lineman is pretty reasonable to come across in the draft and in free agency. But, somebody like Devontae Smith, who's been here for a minute now, and done his thing. And it's time for him to, definitely get that big contract. So, again, I'm pretty sure Howie will find a way to go ahead and work this stuff out. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. The only thing that I definitely feel better about is hearing the news today coming from Haason himself, stating that he didn't ask for this. He didn't ask for this. So that puts a little bit of light back at the end of the tunnel, you know what I mean, for this thing to get resolved some way, somehow.
And the fact that we have Howie Roseman.
I'm just reading my old papers from back in the day with the Temple Zone. Because this guy wants to be here. If he could finish his career out, it would be with the Eagles. Wholeheartedly. But again, at the end of the day, it's a business. And people are saying Nathan pre-Super Bowl was talking about this, about trading Haason. So send all your anger to Pete.
Pete, understand, I was cursing you out. That thing came out. All right, I was cursing you out, and I even told Gail this is all Pete's fault. Pete had to talk
for who though? Who would you trade?
He was asking. He was talking about Surtain, and like
I got you.
And a 1 and a 3 and so. But like, if here's some. According to over the cap, Reddick is the number 17 in average annual salary for edge rushers, and the top 11 edge rushers make at least $20 million per year. Reddick makes $15 million a year. So again, this is a +1 for Reddick in the argument category. He outperformed his contract, the one he signed in 2022. He enters this on 2024 as on the last year of his deal. Again, if you're a veteran, you got 1 year on your deal. If he gets injured on this 1 year deal, that's all he's making. If he signs a 2 year deal, he's guaranteed more money. It makes no sense to play on a 1 year deal. The other thing, as you talked about, other people need to get paid. Josh Sweat, who is also 26, is a pending free agent as well. and they're both underpaid. We got a Sweat paid around 13.3 million, Reddick about at 15. So those guys are in to make more money. Now, who do you pay? The younger, the older, or you bring it running back and you figure out a way to do things. Let's see. In the last
right now.
In the last 4 years, Reddick has had double-digit sacks every season. The only players with more sacks during this time are T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett and Trey Henderson. And if we all look at what they're getting paid, he has an argument.
Mm-hmm.
But that's exactly what I said in my statement. Look at those names that he's up there with. He's underpaid, and he deserves it. But this is what I would do. Howie, I know you're watching 4th of Jawn. You're watching Tim Kincaid, Primo, and Gail. Big Dom knows us. He knows us, okay? Extend him. Take 8-9 million and push it back on the salary cap, right? Take the rest of that and just fold it up. Boom, right? And then see what you could do with Bradbury and Maddox. That's like 40 mil right there. We already got like 30. That's 40 mil in the bank.
Yeah. And like Haason, TJ Watt and Hendrickson and Chris Jones are all the age of 29. So again, he's done his job. And again, like Eagle fans out there always like a player who does their job, doesn't complain. Local kid. He's got the fan perspective. He's a fan favorite, and he hasn't complained. He's not complained, and he's got the best sack celebration besides Sweat.
Pete trying to make an argument here, trying to get everybody convinced and everything. I'm gonna tell you first of all, before I even read this comment, Pete, you ain't gonna convince me. You ain't gonna convince half these guys on these comments right now. All right, you already in the shitter. You know what I mean? Because you into existence.
So
everybody look at Pete and say, "Boo!"
Get that name. All right, get that name. Follow him. You know what I mean? Just go get at him. But he mentions, you know what I mean? Look. Could y'all trade Reddick, a 22nd pick, a 3rd rounder, go get Patrick Surtain? Gail, you mentioned this earlier. You haven't heard any news about Patrick Surtain even being talked about being traded from the Denver Broncos. Why would they? So I don't know where all this is coming from. I've been seeing some tweets here and there that they should really focus on going after him in the offseason, but I don't know. I don't even know if it's in the works.
Everyone's booing Pete in the comments.
Yeah.
Now, just for Pete's sake, get it? Just for Pete's sake, we're going to talk about the trades from 2023 to 2020 in the NFL for edge rushers. Shout out to Zach Berman, has a great article on some of these trades. In 2023, Washington traded Montez Sweat to Chicago for a 2nd round pick in 2024. Washington also traded Chase Young to the 49ers for a 2024 3rd round pick. Now, talking about production, I mean Haason beats their production. Now, 2022, Denver traded Bradley Chubb, 2025 5th round pick, and a 2023 1st round pick and a 2024 4th round pick, and Chase Edmonds. Chicago traded Robert Quinn to the Eagles for a 2023 4th round pick. Chicago traded Khalil Mack to the Chargers for a 2022 2nd round pick and a 2023 6th round pick. And then 2021, the Broncos traded Von Miller to the Rams for a 2022 2nd round pick, a 2022 3rd round pick. And 2020, Yannick Ngakoue got traded from Minnesota to Baltimore for a 2021 3rd round pick and a 2022 5th round pick. Jacksonville traded Yannick Ngakoue for a 2021 2nd round pick and a 2022 5th round pick. So, I mean, what do you think his value is right there? After hearing all that,
those guys were young though. They were like what? They were mad young, weren't they?
A little younger, yeah.
I mean, this is the thing though. Pass rush is not easy. And then the ones that be able to stick out, like you got to pay them. Like you, and we're the way Howie builds this team, he builds this team through the trenches. I mean, I'll tell you another name that's been surfaced around the Eagles, and y'all probably gonna be surprised. Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack is available. They're trying to get rid of him. Yeah, and he's been circling around the Eagles. I'm not sure how big that is, but you know that. But this is the thing, though. We are old at that position, so giving up, Haason, that just sounds crazy.
He says, y'all pay Pete too much mind. He feeds off the shock value, wow factor, shaking my head.
I'm just going to. Yo, right.
My bad, Pete. I didn't think they was going to boo you like that, but tomatoes let you be.
Man, yeah, it's all love, man. You know what I mean? It's all love. I'm hoping they can figure this thing out, man. I don't want to let that kid go. You know what I mean? Camden native, you know what I mean, representing the city. And he plays, bro. Like I said, he balls out. You know, how many times was he our player of the game? You know what I mean? How many times did we talk that, you know what I mean, he was going to be the
Dallas
one that
week.
Like, bro, he's the one doing his thing. And, you know, remember, he had a real late start last season, you know what I mean, with that thumb, the cast and everything. And look, he still was able to go ahead and pull out double-digit sacks. So that says a lot, man. And
he hasn't been injured.
Right. And he's only missed one game out of the 5 years he's been playing, I think they mentioned.
Correct.
One game?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot to find a defensive end that can hold his composure like that. So, bro, I mean, I really, like I said, man, I know I'm going to leave it to Howie. I'm going to leave it to Howie to just go ahead and figure this shit out. And, you know, if he's out there testing the market and seeing what these guys are willing to go ahead and offer him, and I mean, something's just telling me Howie is going to come back and be like, hey, look, man, we could do this, we could do that. And, you know what I mean? And let's seal the deal.
Now, everyone's favorite resident traveler, Chris Nady, he says, hoping they're just seeing what he could draw in the open market to offer him a fair contract. And again, find your value, come back, let's work the numbers, see if it makes sense, and make it make sense. But again, you know, as we have to think about the spectrum of what life could be after Haason Reddick or potential options to think what would Howie do? You know, obviously Howie's going to do his homework. So we brought up some pieces out here. If you're talking draft, this whole spin was like, all right, if the Eagles have to go for an edge, yeah, and you have to go to the draft. You know, let's look at some potential prospects. I know Latu out of UCLA. Me and Tim got a chance to talk to him at the Senior Bowl, a guy who's got some real tools in his belt for his age. It looked super seasoned out there. He was undressing some of these offensive tackles with the quickness. Obviously, there's an injury history with Latu, but he's around the mid, some say top 15, but could slide due to the medicals. A lot of you Penn Staters in here know this guy, Chop Robinson from Penn State. He's a guy that people are talking about. His former teammate, Adisa Isaac from Penn State, also another prospect. On day 3, Javon Solomon out of Troy, another guy who put up some good numbers. And then if you're going to try and go Bama, Dallas Turner, you're talking about trade up prospect. He could be a potential guy. And then Chris Braswell from Bama, options. Now, people have mentioned these 3 characters. Bryce Huff, played with the Jets. Josh Uche from the Patriots, and Andrew Van Ginkel. There's been a lot of talk about Andrew Van Ginkel on the timeline. Tim, have you heard anything about Van Ginkel?
Hey, that's number 1 target for the Fangio defense. That's what I've been hearing. Man, he looks weird without the helmet, right? I wasn't expecting him to see him like that. Keep the helmet on, man. Keep the helmet on. But yeah, he's the number 1 target that the Eagles are going to be targeting due to the Fangio defense. And also, you also got to remember, we still got some young players in the helm with Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, and I'm hoping what's going to happen now is they're going to finally give Milton his due. because that dude has been balling out when he gets a chance.
So Cox out the door.
Man, I heard something wild a couple days ago about him. Like he wants to still play football, but he might be going to the Steelers.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it, man. I think it's time, bro. I'm sorry. I think
heart, man.
I know, and I said that to Gail, you know what I mean, before we even we talked earlier, man. Like I think it's time. Cox he did his thing. He's been great to the organization, the captain, and mad love to him. But yeah, it's time to kind of like hand the torch over to somebody else. And Milton's that dude, man. I think it's time for him to step in, do his thing, and get the playing time he definitely deserves.
Now, X3 says to keep things short. If he wants to get paid too much, he's gone. We gotta start paying Smith, Dickerson, Milton. Yeah, I think, and again, I'm never gonna fault a player in this situation. I always say get your money when you can, and whenever you have leverage, you use it. There's no, you don't like, I'll take it friendly. Like, no, there's no the NFL teams aren't doing that. It's rare that on occasion that like a Brady who makes mega bucks is going to like take less money to keep the team together. I think Mahomes, if he's smart, he's got enough endorsement deals. If he was going to take less to build around you, again, I'm not mad at Adrian chimes and said Reddick isn't going anywhere. This is Howie bluffing to get that restructured team friendly. Did it with Slay last year. But
you're right, bro, because that's the first thing that came to my mind is what they did with Slay. It's a different position. So I don't know. We'll see. I really hope that that's the course that he decides to take on this matter, and giving him something that he's he sees out there that he's worth getting.
A resident Oregonian says JPJ Jackson's Power Johnson. Hey, I'm not mad at it. People are talking about it on the timeline. I'm seeing it here and there. Bringing another offensive center minded player, 334. He was awesome at the Senior Bowl. Jerome also talks about he wants Lab McConkey in the draft, and he'll be happy. Wide receiver 3 is to be had. Today I was watching Keon Coleman from Florida State. Have y'all watched Keon Coleman?
Yeah.
There's so many wide receivers, so many flavors. I think you if they don't come out of this draft with wide receiver 3, I think I'm going to go down to the stadium with the sign. Draft wide receiver 3.
Yeah, especially day 2. Day 2 is going to be. There's going to be this wide receiver draft is young, and these guys get it. They got talent, man. I'm excited, but I'm down with McConkey though. You go ahead and Jabari thrash. I'm happy with that. I did see that. The Eagles meet with everybody, but they did meet with the North Carolina boy. I can't remember his name.
Tez Walker.
They did meet with Tez Walker. He didn't really have that much of a good shootout, showing out at the Senior Bowl. But
I'm good.
Yeah.
Good, man.
Yeah, I can tell because you and I were watching. We were like, what's going on?
I totally agree with you. I've even volunteered to pack their bags. I'm just waiting for them to get back to me.
Thanks.
Yeah, I just think about it, man. There's so many players out there that could be had in this draft. One thing that I noticed, I'm going back. What stood out to me is the Chiefs winning with the wide receiver inconsistency they had. Now, if the Chiefs go ahead and draft some dogs, Rashee Rice, another Senior Bowl prospect who's shining out there. Again, you can find your wide receiver at the Senior Bowl. So I think if they get more receivers, God, you know what I'm saying? I don't need Mahomes with a dog. Imagine if what's his name, Mike Evans goes to like the Chiefs.
Imagine somebody like
crazy
Roman
Wilson.
Yeah, imagine if he went there. Oh my! Stop playing.
Tim just said it. Tim just said it as well.
Yeah, stop, man. His route running and the way that kid understands space and route recognition. Come on, stop playing.
Yeah, I think we are officially in draft season now. I think so. Off season is here. I think if you guys want to stick around throughout the offseason and do some mock drafts. No, this is Prime's favorite moment, mock draft season. I think it's a great time to be alive. But I think it's a great opportunity for this team to get better, younger, faster. We looked at this defense, super slow at times. They looked uninterested. Some of them overpaid. My thing is like when you have fuck you money, you start acting funny. I think a little bit. I'm just saying, not everyone, because I don't have it.
Enough. You
I've
said
been
it.
the same. I've been the same dude. But I think that's not. It's not an easy thing to do. I don't think if you got 100 million today, and you woke up tomorrow and your boss is like, Tim, I'm gonna need you to come in 15 minutes early. I think you'd feel a certain way.
Oh, for sure.
I might not come in 15 minutes early, but you know,
I'll be on time.
Yeah.
I'm not coming in. I'll be on time.
Real talk. I mean, but you said it's like you said, everybody's different, man. I mean, you know, that'd be a blessing if we were to ever get that kind of money. But I don't know. Like the one thing that, you know, I mean, I was taught in life is, you know, I mean, you got to appreciate what you got. You got to appreciate the people around you. And the fact that somebody's getting off of that contract, you know what I mean? You know, the people that are sitting in the seats in the stadiums are helping you get to that point. They're thriving you to get to that point. And, you know, those are people like I would always remember and be grateful for. So, you know, I mean, you see that from certain players, but then you see certain players where, you know, it makes me want to touch upon some of these 40 whiners. You know what I mean? Like I'm a touch on Trent Williams. You know what I mean? I can't stand that fucking clown. He's a dickhead. I'm gonna tell you, I had sympathy going into that Super Bowl game because I heard about his story and all that stuff. And you know what I mean? And it's something serious to come back from. But what a dickhead when he left that field. Did you see him pushing the reporters, pushing people out of his way?
Nah, I missed it. You gotta see everything, man.
It was just like, why you gotta be that dickhead? Like, why you gotta be? Damn, why? You know what I mean? I wish Jason Peters was there just to let him know. Go ahead, try pushing me like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I wish Sue was there. I wish
that didn't work out for you last time. You know what I mean?
Jeez. Rackcheck says Quinn Mitchell or Cameron Kitchens in the first round would be dope. I'm telling you, Mitchell is a dude that I'm again. He's a guy that he was out here balling, bro. I'm not standing. I was like, I gotta meet the dude that could potentially be an Eagle.
Yeah,
that's why I was like, I need to get this photo now because I feel some good vibes. I feel like he brings that energy. Models his game after
he wants to be an Eagle.
Models his game after Darius Slay. Imagine him pairing them up. But we'll see.
But he told me and you, he was, hey, I'd love to be Eagle. I'm like, yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, man. I think overall, I think draft season is around here. So I mean, these draft takes are going to be flying. Jerome says thoughts on Johnny Wilson. Can't teach size, but is he another Kelvin Benjamin? He did not flash the way I wanted to see him down at the Senior Bowl. Big guy, but when I looked at Keon Coleman, that's a dude who flashed. So I mean, I'm just, you know, obviously he's got that size, but I think I asked one of my guys, he was a draft scout down there. He's a big FSU dude. He said, I don't think you move the tight end like that either. But again, got that size. See what you can do with it. Be interesting. He had a weird Senior Bowl to me.
He did. Long arms, but you can tell when he's not playing good, he gets in his own way. He gets in his own way.
Elena says she can't stand Bully's prime.
Neither
Can't
can
stand him. But yeah, I mean, any other last topics? If you guys have any questions before we get out of here, that'd be great. Tim asks thoughts on Kool-Aid. We can't we can't tell you who we got it from.
Yeah,
who told us where I got it from. The weight of his words when we brought up Kool-Aid, he said he can't run.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Why'd you say that?" He's like, "Just ask the word on the streets. He can't run like that."
And when I asked the question, he looked at me like I was boo boo fool. I'm gonna be honest with you.
And then I doubled down and said, "Tell me about Wiggins from Clemson." He's like, he gave me a like one, and he's like, Mitchell's the guy that you want to look at, and I'm like, okay, but I'm still do my research, honestly. Mr. Meza says, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we got Jordan Morgan, U of A, back into the first.
Yeah.
Guard tackle versatility. I'm not mad at that. It's gonna take us a while to fix these Eagles in the offseason, but keep these. Now, Mark says top running back prospects. If I'm gonna go later, I'm just saying later. I would start with Marshall and Lloyd would be one of them.
I would say Marshawn Lloyd, Ray Davis. He's another one
from Kentucky. I mean, again, we ain't draft no running backs in the first. So don't even think about a top 5. Think about day 3, day 2. Blake Corum, very interesting from Michigan.
That'd be a nice one.
Imagine, I think Kool-Aid has the best nickname. No.
Bro, black people, we gotta do better. Come on, man.
It's better than fruit juice. Yo, this my bruh, fruit juice.
My boy fruit juice over there. My boy, and over there is my boy pre-roll. You know,
it's not a sauce gardener, but
right.
Paul from over the pond says, hoping that there's a top quality linebackers in the draft. Everybody wants Trotter Jr., another local dude. Mr. Meza says, which position should we draft on day 1 in your opinion? Go ahead, Tim, you first.
If it was me, I would probably go defense on that side of the ball. I would definitely probably look into. I would like another defensive tackle, or
what do you want? What do you want? Byron Murphy, Texas.
I would take. Oh yeah, or Sweat. Oh yeah, I would take one of the boys in Texas. Most definitely. Sweat, Monte, dude. Devontae. Is it Devontae?
Yeah, but he if we brought in another Sweat from Texas, he's another Jordan Davis.
But you got to remember something though. It's all about rotation.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like he's a big boy. That's like 6'4", 300 and what? 300. You know what? I better not say the measurements and stuff like that. That's a big dude, man. That's a big dude.
Elena would like to go linebacker. Bob is going best player available. I'm gonna go. I would love to see us draft a corner. I think it's time to. It's the last time we drafted a corner in the first round. It's Lito Shepherd, dude. That's a long time.
That was a long time.
I think I think you're better getting your cornerback in the top of the draft.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting. I think the wide receiver position is deep. You can wait.
Yes.
You can wait a little bit. I think linebackers, I don't think you can really. You wait until the third again. I just don't know exactly what we're doing at linebacker. If they're going to go free agent or trade, and then also it also depends in terms of what Mr. Number 62 is doing.
Yeah. Let's be honest though. When it comes to DBs, it's not like you got to be an outstanding DB for how we look at you.
You got to be a sauce guard.
Yeah, like yeah. But yeah, I get it. I would love to go DB, but I didn't know
trenches. Dude loves trenches again. I'm not.
Yeah.
The whole BPA thing is it's cliche, but like I said, I wouldn't be mad at JPJ at all.
Right.
But people are in their feels about drafting linemen. Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma. These are all names that, again, we'll be talking in further down the road. But before we get out of here, we just want to we appreciate you guys sticking around. We also love to give a shout out to Philly Sports Trips. If you're looking to book a trip, Head to phillysportstrips.com. Make sure you follow them on Sports Trips PHL for more information. Also, if you might have heard, the Eagles are going to Brazil for the week 1. So they have a trip over there. The Birds take over Brazil. You can get it. You can put your deposit down now. The details are coming soon. From a show of hands, who's thinking about going to Brazil?
My wife said no.
No.
My wife said no. I can't go.
We ain't say no. She said what she
really
said.
You know damn well she said no. You heard it in the video.
She really say what she put in front of the no. Okay.
Hell no.
Hell no.
No, not even hell no. That's PG-13. She went rated R on the shit.
Yeah.
Hey,
she said, sir, that would be a negative.
Hey,
right.
my oldest brother's wife is from Sao Paulo. Great people, great person. But check out their trip if you're interested. Go to Philly Sports Trips. Make that happen because I think I will. I think. Can
you bring me back a magnet or something?
Something.
I appreciate you.
Something. Mark Bird says crickets. This is a conversation that you need to have with your financial advisor as well.
The boss,
whoever the boss is in your family. So
you don't technically have a financial advisor just yet, but we have financial advisors. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. But anyway, before we get out of here, just want to thank all you guys in the comments who showed up and are talking birds with us. Like normal, we appreciate you guys doing it all year round. We'll be here all off season. But before we get out of here, Tim, last word.
Trust the process. Trust the process. We're back at it. We're back at it with the back at it, man. Trust the process. We're going to be all right. We're going to be fine. Listen. Go Birds.
Damn. Okay. Trust the process. Is it basketball or are you talking about the Eagles?
No. We're done with that process. That process has been done. We already got buddy buckets. You know what I'm saying? We already got buddy buckets. I think somebody else is going to come. Kyle Lowry. Welcome back home. Welcome back home.
All right. I like
trust the process the Eagles way. We'll be back. Fly, Eagles, fly.
That's last word, Primo.
Hey, man, like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm just happy it's all over. The outcome, it was a great outcome. So, I'm good. I slept well that night. But, to, those 40 whiners out there, hey, listen, man, a long road ahead of you, you know what I mean? No sympathy. Like I said, you ain't getting no sympathy from me, all right? I'm glad it went down the way it did. But other than that, I agree with Tim, man. It's time to get back to work, time to focus on what we need to fix. And I hope they dot their I's, cross their T's, get these things going because I want to get back to that big game, man. That's the one thing that, it felt horrible being able to watch that game and not seeing us in there. You know what I mean? So after being there last year, so I'm ready to get back to the promised land. So whatever they gotta do to, make this happen, let's get it. If it starts in the draft, it starts in the draft. It starts with free agency. It starts with free agency. Whatever you gotta do, just make it happen. Other than that, it's always go Birds. See you on the next one.
Last word. Shout out to Bud Light for holding us down at all the tailgates last season. We appreciate you guys and your support since 2016. Supporting us. Shout out to Conshohocken Italian Bakery, who's also been supporting us since 2016. Shout out to Red Bull for giving us wings this last season. I thought it was a fantastic addition to the tailgate. Shout out to Evan Hollywood Hearn in his cheesesteaks. I would like a cheesesteak from Evan in the off season, since I probably had like maybe 3 during the regular season. Give them to the people. Give them to the people. Shout out to Mr. Alex Levine in his pulled pork. Shout out to Jesse Wines for all his support during the tailgates, and shout out to you guys, the people, for showing up every week.
Shout out to you.
and DJ Lowski as well for holding down the party. But we will see you guys in the next one. As always, fly, Eagles, fly.